Welcome to Wednesday's Why. Sometimes we don't understand why something is happening to ourselves. And so we are reaching out and finding out, okay, what is going on? And sometimes we think about it. Sometimes our body tells us something and we need to listen. So I am all about discovering why. So that's what we do at Quantum Techniques. And my name is Jody Colegrove. And today I wanted to talk about how do you reconnect your body so that your body knows that something's going on that it needs to take care of. And so we may come in contact with pathogens and toxins and they impact the body. But if we don't have a reconnection online, then sometimes there's certain organs and tissues that don't know what to do with that information. So going to kind of share that with you today. So thank you for joining us and learning all about how to help your body reconnect. So I do energy medicine, and we find that there is it's almost like called verbal acupressure is basically what I do, is the best way to explain it. So in acupressure, you see a lot of different people touch the wrist points, and they're basically tuning in to the different points on the wrists that indicate different organs of the body. Okay. And we need to reconnect that with our body's healing intelligence. And so we have a particular chart that we use to do that reconnection. And if you enter your email, I can send you that chart so you will know what points are on the wrist for what organs, glands, and tissues, so you can reconnect those. So we're thinking about if we have an issue and we want to reconnect our body with that issue. So checking in with those organs to find out what's going on. The next thing that we do is we have lots of different places in our brain that represent different areas of thinking. Okay, so we have the frontal cortex, and we have the amygdala, and so we have the cerebellum. So we have lots of those different areas that do different functions in the body. And so what we do is we have another chart that's called the cortical contacts. Okay, and so those particular points represent different things that's going on in the body. We have ears, we have eyes, we have motor skills. And so if you find that you're more clumsy or you hurt yourself more often, sure enough, those motor areas of the body that makes it work and function are off. We also have things like this association and cortex, and also the sensory. So those could be off also, and they sometimes can indicate whether you have language difficulties or things going on. Another place that we also reconnect is brain engines. Those are also kind of all in the head area, and they are things like oblongata, the medulla oblongata, and they represent the heartbeat, and whether it's almost like a master connection. And so we find that a lot of times that's out if you've encountered any kind of toxin or pathogen in your life, and so we have to reconnect that. So we have another chart that has like 20 different places that are all around the body that need to be reconnected. So you things like the heart, the thymus, the lymphatic system. I already mentioned the visual, third eye. That's come up a lot lately because if people are taking your temperature and they aim it right at your forehead, is that going to disrupt the third eye? And so you might want to just kind of turn your head a little bit slightly off to be off center. They also say that that's also a pressure point or a touch point for the pineal gland, which deals a lot with weight and hormonal issues in the endocrine system. And so you can either have, like I said, just turn your head a little bit sideways to take the temperature, or direct them to your wrist to take the temperature. So just kind of a little side note on that one. So some of the other areas, we talked about limbic, talked about motor. Pons is an area in the back of your head. It's above the cerebellum, and a lot of times that will go off if you're in a fight or flight kind of situation. One of the ones that I love is hippocampus, and that's the touch point for that is right here. And that can go offline if you have any kind of body awareness issues. And so if your body is not doing what it's supposed to be doing, it could be because amygdala has gone out in fight or flight, and then the body's offline and it doesn't know what to do with the information. Now, when people have Alzheimer's, that's what goes bad, is the hippocampus, and they have no awareness in the body that there's a brain disconnect between the brain and the body. And so that's an important one to have online and to make sure it's fully functioning also. Cerebellum, one of my favorite, that deals with the chemical makeup of your body. So if you've come in contact with any kind of cleaning chemicals, oh yeah, that's right, everything's being sprayed down right now and we're having massive chemical issues. So sure enough, that is going to be offline, and that has to function at a 17, a level of a 17 when we test, because if it doesn't, then you're going to have some chemical sensitivities, you're going to have issues, and I check that one regularly because there's Parkinson's in my family, and I want to make sure that that toxin is not full up so that I don't have any issues with Parkinson's later in my life with too many toxins in my life. Other things that we put online is C7, which is part of the spine, and that is your divine connection to the divine and to others. And then we also have, heart, we talked about. Cell memory, that's another one that's kind of interesting. That one is, what is your divine makeup when you were born and how you were created? And that sometimes will be off if you have some kind of a disease or a pathogen that has impacted you in your lifetime. Or it could be that it has been knocked out by chemicals or pesticides or anything like that. So that's pretty much anything can knock that off. And so it's one of the points that we always check. So like I said, we have 20 of those that we check. Now, I've given you 3 categories, but when we work with clients, what I do is I'm actually putting back on 18 charts, and I do it really quick. But basically it's like, the teeth, the spine, the cortical contacts in the brain engines, which we just went over. So there's, like I said, the brain itself. We have muscles and ligaments and tendons, which I think is fascinating. Your muscles always represent organs in your body. And so if your calf muscles are very sore, sure enough, it's your adrenals. And so if you wake up in the middle of the night, you just need to move. That's your adrenals have come in contact with some kind of pathogen. So your body's always communicating with you. We just have to listen. So that's my Wednesday why for you today. So it's important to always have your body in connection, because when that connection goes offline, your body doesn't know what to do with the information. So thanks for listening to Wednesday's Why. You can leave your email and let me know where you're listening from, and also if you would leave your email, I can send you some charts so that you will have those areas to reconnect. And I think it's a good idea that if you have a specific issue, a health issue with a specific organ in your body, to really always put those back online each day. Just these 3 charts will help you tremendously. And so I've done that with a tooth that I have. So I make sure that that's online every day so that I don't get any extra pathogens or toxins from that. So thanks for listening. And again, my name is Jody Colegrove with Quantum Techniques, and I hope you have a blessed, happy, and healthy day.